A lot of people, and I don't ever talk about what's going on in the news, right? But a lot of people had a problem with what Simone Biles' husband said about her chasing him, pursuing him, and him being the prize. And while he may feel that way, I could never imagine my husband talking about me that way. Even if I did pursue him, even if he did feel like he was the prize, honey, whenever my husband talks about me, even when I'm not there, because people from his job tell me, honey, when I'm not around, he talks me up. Even if I was stalking him, waiting for him to wake up in his driveway at 8 o'clock in the morning so we can go get breakfast. I don't know. Did that happen? Mm-hmm. You'll never know it because he wouldn't tell you even if it did, right? So while people may not have an issue with what Simone Biles' husband said, and some people may, I do. I do. Because when you're not around, all I'm trying to do is talk you up. I would never want anyone to think that you had to chase me and break me down in order for me to be with you. And while that may not have been the whole premise of what he was saying, that was the gist of it, as if he were settling. Now, could editing have had something to do with it? Yeah. I have counseled many couples that talked about each other this way. And what happens is, it sounds like she could possibly be a placeholder until something better comes along, right? Now, he has a beautiful, talented, one of a kind wife. A lot of men would love to have them as Simone Biles, honey. Okay? I can imagine being in shape like her. It's ridiculous. The money, the shape, the attitude. She's gorgeous, right? But unfortunately, because society, and when I say society, I mean her own people, have broken her down so much by focusing on her hair, right, instead of her abilities, on her looks, which I don't think there's anything wrong with her looks, instead of her gifts and talents, right? Broke her down so bad that she started straightening her hair, putting on makeup, becoming something other than what she was naturally. And it's fine. There's nothing wrong with stepping up your game or changing things around or even putting on less, right? There's nothing wrong with that. It's only a problem when you feel like you're less than when you're not wearing those things or when you don't have access to those things. And I think that's what happened with Simone. Unfortunately, she internalized a lot of that hatred that was spewed on her, not knowing that it was just projection, not knowing that these keyboard thugs were projecting their own self-hatred onto her. It had nothing to do with her. Okay? So while her edges went laid, she just did 15 somersaults and 3 purees. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know what they were doing. But she just did it. You can't do that. With your laid edges, you can't do it. Right? So for her to be judged on something so petty, like her, I think that broke her in a way. I think that broke her because she worked really, really hard to get to where she is. And now with her choosing this man, it's almost like a trophy. See, I'm worthy. Right? See, he picked me. He accepted me. So I'm worthy. Look. I'm not ugly. Look at him. Right? She's looking for her value and her self-worth, her validation through her husband. Because society, keyboard thugs that couldn't do 2 seconds of what she does on a daily basis naturally, has something to say about her. And who knows how far back this goes, right? Who knows the trauma she's experienced? Because we've heard stories about gymnasts and what goes on in these situations, in these gyms, right? Instead of celebrating her for the beautiful, talented young woman she is, you can see right before your eyes what happens when you choose to focus on someone's weaknesses. And her weaknesses has nothing to do with her appearance or her outside, but her self-esteem. It's unfortunate. I hope it works out. I hope they get counseling so that they can work on their boundaries, expectations, and deal breakers. So they can let each other know what they expect from one another. They can let each other know what boundaries they're setting, what they're going to do if they fail to meet their expectations. And they can let each other know, hey, this is a deal breaker for me if you do A, B, C, D. Because if you fail to do that in the beginning, you'll fall for anything in the end. I really hope they make it. They're a young, beautiful couple. This could have just been a hiccup. This could open up his eyes for him to see that he's not the only prize. Now, if it had been said that they're both the prize, okay, cool. We're both the prize. We big up each other, right? Then that will give some, okay, I see how he really feels about her. But baby, that was not the case. Be mindful what you say about your partner. More importantly, be mindful about what you're willing to accept and be mindful about how you feel about yourself. Because how you feel about yourself has a lot to do with how people will treat you. That's my 2 cents. Take it or leave it, it's free. And look, before you pick Mishas and angry Andes come into my inbox, my DMs, my comments, talk about, well, he said this and he said he loved her and this. He did, okay? But that does not negate all the other stuff he said too. I said what I said. He said what he said. You say what you say. And we can call it a day, okay? We can leave it at that. That's it. Be respectful. Because if not, my clapback game is not one you want to mess with.